Across the nation this week, the All Progressive Congress APC concluded its world, local government and state congresses. What was billed by some as a difficult test for party unity instead turned into a disciplined, largely peaceful exercise from Lagos to Maiduguri, from Sokoto to Port Harcourt. Tonight, we'll look at the nationwide outcome of the Congress and end with a detailed analysis from Delta State. We'll also dive deep into what this means for the 2027 general election and the opposition landscape. Before we dive into the APC resounding success in their Congress, here are some top trending news making wave in this week. A minor but strategic cabinet reshuffle as President Tinubu has nominated Taiwo Oyedele, former chairman of the Presidential Tax Reform Committee, as the new Minister for State for Finance. He now replaces Dr. Doris Azuka Anite, who moved to Minister of State in the Ministry of Budget and National Planning. Her top portfolio since the beginning of this administration. The nomination has been sent to the Senate for confirmation. In tax news, the federal government has rolled out new presumptive tax regulation for SME and the informal sector, exempting nano and small businesses with turnover below 12 million, while applying a simple 1% rate on turnover for others. No more cash collection or roadblocks. It's all tech-driven to formalize the economy. At the National Assembly, lawmakers commission an ultra-modern newsroom to enhance transparency, improve media access, and boost public communication on legislative activity. On the global stage, the US-Iran conflict entered day 5, with fierce battle focusing on Strait of Hormuz, the vital choke point of global oil movement. While oil prices have surged past $80 per barrel, Brent hit high, not seen for over a year, while natural gas price has sparked over 50% in some markets due to disruption in tax flow. Closer home, this global spike have hit Nigerian economy hard. Dangote Refinery have raised its PMS depot price by 100 naira from 774 to 874 naira per litre, citing crude fundamental. While higher oil revenue will boost Nigeria's foreign reserve and government earning, the average citizen will now pay more for pump of petrol, diesel, and even cooking gas. And now, let's go back to our main focus, the APC Congress. While a lot of political analysts have said that this will test APC unity and spiral into a major crisis that could set the stage for fragmentation, report largely states that the outcome was generally peaceful and a good sign for unity. So what does it mean for the 2027 general election and the opposition landscape? Welcome to this news political update. I am Oba Silva. The APC scheduled its Congress in phases across the Federation. World Congresses and local government congresses took place in late February, and the state congresses concluded on March 3rd, 2026. Upon completion, the party national leadership directed the immediate swearing-in of all newly elected executives at ward, local government, and state level in line with its party constitution. Across many states, congresses produced new executives by consensus and affirmation. In Katsina State, delegates representing all wards and local government areas elected a new state executive committee in what many consider as peaceful gathering, according to Governor Dika Rada, describing it as a sign of unity and discipline. In Lagos, Colinos Ejelabi was re-elected APC state chairman in a well-reported affirmation process that brought leaders and stakeholders together without any form of incident. While in Benue, the party retained Benjamin O'Malley-led executive through a transparent process described by the governor as credible and peaceful. Similar outcomes were recorded in Abia, where a emerging leader pledged to reposition the party for victory in 2027. In Enugu, the newly elected executive welcome as part of a new reconciliation and rebuilding phase, closing earlier internal division and handing over unity to the new team. While in Bayelsa, stakeholders praised the World to State Congress for being orderly and inclusive. Across many states, the completed process, eyewitness and media report described Congress as organized and free of major violence or disruption. However, one exception was Ondo State, where a federal court temporarily halted the Congress process pending judicial review. Even there, party leader publicly pledged to respect the rule of law and pursue peaceful resolution. For every political party in Nigeria, world and local government Congress are the bedrock for party leadership. But the state Congress are where the national strategy is affirmed and key party leaders are choosing to stir organization readiness in preparation for the next election. These congresses are more than ceremony. They produce state executive committee, chairman and secretary, public relation officer, youth and women leaders who coordinate party and grassroots mobilization and oversee candidate selection and election. With this team now in place for the APC across most states, the APC have solidified its control of its internal machinery. Stakeholders in several states have already linked this outcome to preparation for the 2027 general elections. Leaders in Abia, for example, spoke openly assuring the governorship in 2027, following the state congress. This structural readiness contrasts with the current state of some opposition parties. For example, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, have not been able to hold their congresses and national convention. The much talked about Ibadan convention is now currently under legal scrutiny. That put APC ahead of their organizational terms for 2027 general election. For a political strategical perspective, having a full state of internal executive means clear chain of command for mobilizing voters, coordinating polling unit agents, implementing campaign plans at every level of governance. Therefore, the peaceful outcome of the election throughout the nation might be a good sign for the ruling APC, for them to be able to navigate their way through next election cycle. Now to data, where the APC State Congress concluded with broad acclaim party members here describe this as a hallmark of stability and internal cooperation. At the State Congress, Chief Solomon Areika emerged as the new chairman in an exercise acclaimed by many for its peaceful and transparent conduct. Supporters from across the data world attended and participated without the tumult often seen in past political gatherings. Political leaders publicly hailed the process as one of the most peaceful in the state history. Party stakeholders noticed that prominent former leaders and interest groups, including those aligned with other political parties in the past election, rallied behind internal dialogue and accepted the outcome. That unity was highlighted by Governor Sheriff Oboriwori's remark to delegates. He stressed the inclusive consultation and all the new executive to begin immediate preparation for the 2027 campaign. Let's take a listen.
Protect and defend the Constitution of all progressive countries and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God. So help me.
Let me congratulate our brand new chairman, Chief Solomon Areika, and the State Working Committee members. It is my earnest expectation that you will justify the confidence that has been reposed in you. To all our party members, especially our leaders at all levels, I say well done for the peaceful and successful conduct of the congresses. The task before us is clear. Preparation for 2027 general elections begin now. We must secure total victories for our candidates at every level. In Delta State, we are united, and I want us to remain united. Let us remain disciplined. Let us remain focused as 2027 draws near. Thank you for coming. I appreciate this show of love.
The Delta State APC leadership have now entered a new phase of active grassroots engagement and politics across local government, ward, and state, with directive to leave no community behind as they build towards the Nigeria ballot. Meanwhile, the Arika-led ESCO were immediately inaugurated and pledged to work with the success of the All APC candidate in the 2027 general election. However, conspicuously missing was the immediate past Deputy Senate President and the governorship candidate of the APC in the 2027 general election, Senator Ovie Omo Agege. There were unconfirmed reports that the Agege group were planning for a parallel Congress. All of that have not been put to rest as there was no sign of parallel Congress in Delta State. But the question remains, will the Omoyege group remain and work for the party at the 2027 general election draw closer, or will they pull a shocker? Only time will tell. What does this mean for the 2027? The immediate answer is momentum. For party in Nigeria have a completed nationwide state of eternal election just over a year before the general election begins. This gives the APC operational leverage and readiness as a team to work across the country. With state executive now in place, the party can now synchronize candidate elections and strategize down to the ward level. This is critical in the Nigeria pre-election system, where turnout and organization at the grassroots often determine election results. Meanwhile, the opposition formation have yet to replicate this level of organizational consolidation across their bounds. PDP, for example, focused on digital membership without active on-the-ground Congress, which leave a gap in readiness for the APC that could be exploited. Elections are not won by slogan, but a disciplined party structure built from the bottom up improve that chances. So across the nation, the Congress were largely peaceful and credible, producing a fresh round of executive members ready to carry on the party towards the 2027 general election. Delta State have provided a strong example for the South-South, which was largely replicated across the nation. The APC strengthened its organizational base and set a clear pathway for the elections ahead. As the 2027 election draw closer, all eyes are now on other political parties, majorly the opposition, to see if they will be able to replicate this feat in their own congresses. Thank you for joining us tonight on Political Updates. Until next week, when we will bring yet another topical issue shaping our politics. I remain your host, Oba Siba.